Yes, it looks like water to juice to water or really dirty water again. But boys and girls, those aren't really any water at all. What we have here are some very special chemicals that like to change colors. Every time I move them to another cup, they find another chemical and they change colors just to say, hi, I'm here. So lucky for us, they do change colors and they look really cool, but they're not okay to drink at all. So we're going to leave them somewhere else. Now, for my next experiment, I think I'm going to need a hand with it. But I don't just need a hand of anyone's, I need a hand that I can keep. So, if you can take your hand off and give it to me, I would love, love, love to borrow your hand. I don't see any hands coming off here, but it looks like you have a hand I could use. Can I borrow your hand? Come on up. Now, the reason that I need to borrow someone's hand from this is because, you know, today's family day. It's supposed to be a holiday. I don't want to work, so we're going to get you to work instead. What's your name?
Maher.
Okay, now, are you a great scientist? Of course. So what I need you to do first is to put on some gloves. Now, you'll notice that he's going to wear gloves because the chemicals that he is working with is going to be very dangerous. I'm going to stay over here, and I don't have to worry about the chemicals because your hands are going to be gloved up. One finger in each. All right, so like I was saying earlier, I really want to borrow his hand. Now, how old are you?
10.
10 years old. That means these hands took 10 years to build. Do you guys have 10 years to wait? No, you want it to go really fast, don't you? That's going to take even longer. We definitely don't want 11 years. So, I'm going to get you to build me a hand. He has no idea what I'm talking about, and he shouldn't. I haven't told him yet. Now, when we're building a hand, we use a hand mold. I know this looks like a glove, but I promise it's exactly the same shape and size as a hand. It looks just like a hand, doesn't it? Except this time, we're going to make it a little different. We're going to get him to mix some chemicals together so that I can have a real hand to work with. Now, what I need you to do is to take those two chemicals, pour one into the other, and then use a popsicle stick to mix them together. I'm not going to touch the chemicals because I'm not wearing gloves, but you're wearing gloves, so you'll be just fine. Now, what he's doing is he's mixing together 2 parts hand. 1 part finger, 1 part hand, in order to have a full hand that we're going to make. Now, his hand took 10 years to make, so the hand he's going to make is going to be much quicker, but it's still not instant. While we're making this hand, if you see anything happening, I need you to wave at me and say, bean, bean, bean. And that way we'll know that we have some progress. How's that stirring going? Keep stirring. Well, he's doing an excellent job stirring. Make sure you hold that cup, get all the way down to the bottom, make sure everything's stirred together. And now that we have our pieces together, we're going to build a hand. Now, has anyone here ever made a hand before? No? But you guys all have hands, so you must have had one somehow. So that's all the experience you need for building a hand. Now, you're going to pour all of that into my hand. Pour it right into the top of the mold. Make sure it goes all the way in. Fabulous. All right. Believe it or not, that's all of the steps for making a hand. It seems pretty easy, doesn't it? You can just lay that back on the table. And then you can take your gloves off, because now your hands are nice and safe. I'm going to show you an easy way to take them off. Give him a round of applause for making a hand. All right. Now, I need you to have a seat, but if anything happens to the hand, you need to wave and yell bean so I know something's happening, all right? Now, with our hand, we do have all of the fingers, so I need to make sure they all have a little bit of our squish in them, and then hopefully we'll see something growing. Now, that hand might take a little while, so I think in the meantime, we should try a different experiment. One that can ooh, ah, and wow everyone. I never said it was going to be yours. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try to defy gravity. Hi! Hello! Oh, look, I love when you guys wave at me. That's so awesome. The hand! My hand! I have two hands! What about the hand? I don't see anything happening to the hand. I don't see anything, so let's just sit back down. Relax. If you see something really happening, let me know. All I see is a glove sitting over there. So for our next trick, what we're going to do is we are going to defy gravity. Does anyone know what gravity is? What's gravity? A force that pulls us down to the earth. You are exactly right. Gravity is the reason that we're all right now standing on the floor and not on the ceiling. Now, for my next trick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... You guys love to wave, don't you? Hi! Hello! Hello! What's happening? Your hand. My hand. Oh, you know what? We forgot to build a wrist. We probably should have built one of those. Now, my hand is starting to explode and come right over the top, but that's just because it doesn't have a wrist. Lucky for us, we're going to give this hand a little bit more time to grow. Oh, there goes the wrist. Now, we're going to give our hand a little bit of time to grow. At the end of the show, I'll call you back up so you can take a look at your hand and see if it's done cooking. But for now, we're going to defy gravity. Now, to defy gravity means that we're going to do something that's impossible. Now, right here I have a cup. I'm going to put water in that cup. Now, what would happen if I turned the cup upside down? Where's the water going to go? If I turn up the cup, where's the water going to go? It's going to pour right out. But what if I told you I can turn this cup the whole way upside down and nothing's going to spill? Would you believe me? Of course you'll believe me because I wear a lab coat and you guys don't. So, I'm going to take my cup of water and I'm going to show you... Yes, the hand. The hand's going to continue to grow for the rest of the show. He made our hand. He's going to come back up to check it at the end, but don't worry, give it some time for now. Now, with defying gravity, I'm going to turn that cup all the way upside down. And water should not spill out. But I do have to use a very highly scientific device. Does anyone know what this is? She said it's a Frisbee. Now I'm going to give you a hint. I just told you. This is a highly scientific device. That's exactly what it is. Now I know, it looks like a Frisbee with some strings attached to it, but it's much better than that. All we need to do... No, the hovercraft was last year. I'm not going to bring the same thing again. All I'm going to do is I'm going to defy gravity by turning this cup all the way upside down. To do that, all I need is something called centripetal force. With centripetal force, it holds the water hard down as long as I'm spinning. So, I put the water in the cup. Can I have the front row just check that there's water in there? Oh, just the front row. Everyone back up again. Can I have you stand up? Just stand up. Can you check if there's water in here?
Yes. Yes, there's water?
There's definitely water. So, everyone's sitting on their bottoms. People behind you can't see. Sorry, you're really close and I don't want to get you wet, so can you back up a little bit? Now, sometimes I do spill the water. Usually I shouldn't, but if I get it spinning fast enough, the water should stay in the cup just fine. The water is still in the cup, isn't it? Now, just to prove that the water still is in the cup, We'll take the water and pour it back out. Now, I know what you're saying. That's a really tricky thing that only scientists can do. But I'm going to get a volunteer up here to prove that it's not just me, that you guys can do it too. It's actually really, really easy. But before I get a volunteer, boys and girls, a lot of the chemicals I'm using during my show are highly dangerous and very flammable and also burn skin. So, anyone that's sitting in the front row, I need you to bump back one more time. Sorry, buddy, you're way too close to the stage. Can you back up a little bit? Back up a little bit. You're way too close to the stage. I don't want any chemicals to fall on you. All right. Now, I'm only going to pick someone that's sitting down nicely because otherwise you're just blocking other people's views. You're doing an awesome job sitting down, so come on up. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to teach you a few things. What's your name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed. Now, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this, but I'm only going to give you about 30 seconds to learn. Is that okay? Now, when you do it, you're going to bend your right leg back, and you're going to hold your right arm out. Got it so far? Then, you need to make sure your arm stays straight. Your elbow and your wrist need to be very straight. All you're going to do is go forward all the way around and spin in a circle. Do not bend your elbow. Don't do one of these, blah, 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 blah. We're not doing that. You need to make sure your arm stays nice and straight all the way in a circle. Don't worry, I will get out of your way so it doesn't work. Now, I'm going to let you practice it once without the cup, and then we'll give you the cup. But I'm going to get you to move so you don't hit the camera guy. All right, I'm going to stay out of your way. Make sure you have a straight wrist so it's going nice and smooth all the way around. All right, now the problem is when it comes to the water's going to spill all over there. If you bend your elbow, if you bend your wrist, the water's going to spill. That means everyone sitting in the first 3 rows, you are in my splash zone. Not my splash zone, his splash zone. So, when you come to stopping, you need to wah, and then you need to slowly level off towards the end. So give it one more try. And now try stopping. That's going to spill the water for sure, right? When we are stopping, watch. Around, 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 stop. You need to come level just like a table. So, you did an excellent job with that. I'm going to give you a cup just to practice with the cup. We're not going to start with any water because it might spill the first time, so just give it a try without it. Go ahead. You know what? Enough practice. We don't have time for that. Let's just give you some water. Does that look like enough water for you? Is that good? All right, now I'm going to place that in the middle. Now you need to remember to keep your wrist straight, to keep your arm straight, and then to follow through at the end. Don't start yet. I have electronics, so I'm going to move way over there so I'm safe behind him. Whenever you're ready. Warning, guys, if you're in the front row, you might get wet. Go ahead whenever you're ready. Give him a round of applause. Look at how, almost. You missed the landing, but you managed to go around. Did you want to give him one more try? Give him a round of applause. You did an awesome job. Take a bow. He managed to defy gravity. Thank you so much. Now, experiments, but we need to make sure we know all of the mad science rules before we begin. Now, at Mad Science, we like to do our rules in a very special way, so I need everyone to raise one hand high in the sky, and you're going to put your other hand right in the middle of your chest on your heart. Now, in your best voices, you guys are going to try your best to repeat after me. We're going to be louder than the bouncy castle and louder than the basketball. We're going to be as loud as possible. Are you ready? Fabulous. All right. I promise. Not to talk. When Bean is talking.